Hi everyone, it's Amy here from the blog I Think Therefore I Teach. So your GCSEs are now finished. You are looking forward to starting college in September, but you might be a little bit unsure what to expect. So this video I'm going to go through a few things that might help you get prepared over summer and to have a little bit of an understanding of what is going to happen. I'm a teacher at a sixth form, but I've also asked my students what they would have liked to have known before they started college. So the first thing is you need to get yourself organised. You need to be prepared for the 3 or the 4 A-levels or BTECs that you are going to do. So I recommend first of all getting yourself at least one large ring binder. If not more than one, you might want one per subject or one for a double BTEC, etc. So you need to get yourself some folders so you can keep your work nice and organised. Now, you might not wish to carry this around with you every single day to college because it'll get quite heavy. So you might want to get yourself just one of these folders, and there you can keep your different work, your different sheets in, and then transfer them when you get home or at the end of topics into your big ring binder. But you need to look after your notes. You'll spend a lot of time at college writing notes, writing work, and this work is extremely important. You don't want to lose it. So keep your work organised, keep it safe. Finally, I highly recommend, and a lot of my students use these, I highly recommend these pads. They have file dividers within them, so you can actually divide your subjects up, and then inside you have just the lined paper. And so I highly recommend these in order to keep your work, keep your notes, and keep everything together, nice and organised. The second thing that you need to be aware of is your time management. When you start your time at college and you get your timetable, you will notice a number of places on your timetable that are free. These are study periods, these are study sessions when your teacher is expecting you to do your homework and do your research, go over your notes and make sure that you're happy with the content that you are covering. You have to use your time wisely, otherwise before you know it you will start getting behind. So my advice is when you get your timetables, allocate a slot for each of your subjects. When you know that period of that day, it might be 11 o'clock on a Monday, I'm going to do my history homework, I'm going to do my English coursework, whatever it might be. But you need to use your time wisely, because if you don't use your time in college and then you don't do your work at home, when are you going to do your work? You will have an awful lot more work to do. This is not like going through school where you can either wing it or you don't have to do it, because it's all about what you do now. The onus is on you as an individual to succeed and do well. So you have to do the work. Your teachers will not do it for you now at this stage. And so you need to decide, when am I going to do my work and how am I going to be able to do it properly and not rush it. And so within that as well, you need to keep on top of your homeworks. Your homeworks will not disappear, they'll just build up. And so you need to make sure that you keep on top of your homeworks and your homework deadlines. The third thing that you need to consider are BTECs. Now, you might be completely set on doing A-levels, but what you have to think about is there are a lot of extremely good BTECs out there. You can do a BTEC in business, travel and tourism, health and social care. There are some fantastic BTECs, and many universities recognise these as equivalent to A-levels. If you're going for your Russell Group universities, if you're going for your Cambridge and Oxford, or you're going for a specific degree, then double check, because the BTEC might not work for you, but for many students the BTECs work. And the BTECs work because there is coursework within them, it's module staggered information that you will cover. There might be exams at the end of the BTEC that you're doing. You would have to again check with your teacher, but it isn't as like a linear A-level where you get 1 or 2 exams at the end of your second year and you have to remember all 2 years worth of work. And so BTECs still break it down slightly more manageably than a full A-level. Yet if you get a distinction star in BTEC, that is equivalent to an A star at A-level. So they are equivalent, yet the work is staggered differently. So do consider and do look at BTECs. The next thing that you need to think about is UCAS. Now, UCAS is what you write in order to apply for university. So you will write a UCAS report, you will write a UCAS statement, which is what then will be sent to the universities. Now, you might be thinking it's a little bit early, I've already just done my GCSEs, I don't know what I want to do at university. That is absolutely fine. But what you do need to think about is, when I come to write my UCAS at the end of the first year, have I got enough to talk about myself? Do I do enough as an individual that will interest universities? Universities need more than, I've got 3 years at A-level. They need to know whether you're doing open evenings. Are you part of the student union? Are you helping at charity events? Do you volunteer your time at the local hospice or the local primary school? So when you start college, get yourself involved in groups. Join the debating team. Join the rugby club. Join groups, join teams. Take an active part in advertising your college. Take part in charity events. Organise things, because all of these, go on trips with your departments, etc. Do a reading group. There's so many things you could do, and all of these you can write on your UCAS application, and they impress universities. So think about how you look as an individual and think about what makes me stand out compared to everybody else. The next thing that you need to think about and consider is revision. Now this word is a dirty word, revision. Unfortunately, revision does not stop at A-level. When you start your A-levels, you need to get yourself into a revision routine immediately. Why? Because as I've said, you were examined at the end of the 2nd year to get your full A-level. That means, so for example, for religious studies that I teach, there are 32 units that you are going to have to revise. You cannot revise all of that at the end of the 2nd year. So what you need to do is you need to do mind maps or flashcards or practice essays along the way each time. You again need to organise yourself. You cannot expect your teacher to say, are you doing your revision? Are you doing your flashcards? Are you doing your mind maps? You need to be doing this because it benefits you in the long run. But you have to be aware that revision is now an ongoing part of your practice. It is not something that you leave right till the end. I think that another big bit of advice that I would say, and this is often something that students do not do, and that's ask for help. You absolutely must ask for help if you are struggling. If you do not understand something, stay behind after a lesson, send your teacher an email, get in touch with them in some way. Why? Because don't forget, your teacher potentially has 20 new faces in a room. They might have, I get at least 2 new classes, so that's 40, 50 students. I'm learning their names, I'm learning your characteristics, I'm learning your behaviours, I'm learning how to find ways to differentiate and teach you properly. I'm not thinking to myself, is that student struggling? And so what I like as a teacher is if you come behind after a lesson and say, actually, I really don't understand that. What else can I do to help me? Brilliant. You again need to take ownership. You need to take control. If you don't understand it, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to research it online? Are you going to get out the textbook? It is about taking control. And that leads into the last one, which is you have to do the work. You have to do the independent research, your wider reading. You need to check your textbooks. You need to be doing this work because you are the one that is going to earn your A-levels. And it is about earning it. A-levels is a step towards degree, but it's far more like degree than it is school, sorry. So it is far more like degree. It is on you. Your teachers will be there, your teachers will be extremely supportive, but you have to do the work. And then I asked my students what they would have liked to have known before starting college. And the majority of my students said the same thing. And that was, you cannot wing it like GCSE. Most of them said that. And so take that however you wish to, believe them or don't, but you need to be prepared that college is going to be extremely exciting. It is going to be a fantastic time in your life, but it is going to be a lot of work. I hope you have a wonderful summer. I hope that September starts really well. I hope your college experience is fabulous. And if you do like what you find in this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks everyone.